Welcome back. At this episode, I'm going to cover soft field takeoffs. And that's what you're going to use if you're on a grass strip or something and it had rained, it's muddy, or there's snow, slushy, but basically the field's soft. The idea is you want to get the wheels and any drag from the ground out of the equation as quickly as possible. And we're going to do that by flying effectively in ground effect. And ground effect, you can think of it as like a cushion of air that's under your wings, and you can fly at slower speeds in ground effect than you can out of ground effect. So that basically lets us float. And if you've noticed in any of your landings, you come into land and you flare and you just don't touch down. Well, that's because you're in ground effect and it's floating to help keep you up. So we're going to use that to our advantage in a soft field. Now, the ground effect typically, for most GA aircraft anyway, it's effective within about half of your wingspan. And we're using a Cessna 152, so the wingspan, if I'm not mistaken, is 32 feet. Um, and so that means ground effect would be occurring within about 16 feet of the ground. But now on the Cessna, it is a high wing, and so the wing's already about 5 feet off the ground. So if we have 16 feet of ground effect, we're already 5 feet into it, though we've only got 11 feet left. Um, we have 11 feet, we can take the wheels off the ground and still be in ground effect. Above 11 feet, wheels up, uh, then we're out of ground effect. So we want to try to stay in that, and it happens pretty quick. We'll hit the ground effect, and then we'll gain the speed to be able to climb properly without needing ground effect. And so that's what we're going to do. The procedure is the same. Again, the speeds that you want to shoot for is going to vary from aircraft to aircraft. Um, but not we're not focusing on a speed to rotate at. We're going to let the aircraft pop into ground effect when it wants to, but then we need to control it to stay there until we gain enough speed, at least 54 knots in this 152, in order to do a proper climb. So, 10 degrees of flaps, we have carb heats off, parking brakes on at the moment. Now, unlike a short takeoff, we don't need the power right away. Typically, you're not going to have a short and soft takeoff. You probably shouldn't have flown in there in the first place if that's what you end up with. But anyway, so we don't need the parking brake or anything like that on. We're going to do a normal roll. But the procedure is we want to get the wheels off the ground as quickly as possible. The first one, of course, would be the nose. So to do that, we're going to basically hold the control yoke all the way back to our chest during the roll. Now, I like to, at least in the sim, adjust my takeoff trim because I've noticed in the sim it sets it so that it really wants to pitch you up. And that can be a pain when we're trying to do this. And I'm still oscillating. You call it porpoising at times. So I got to work on that. I've only done it a couple times now. But let's see what happens. We're going to do a normal roll. I'm going to hold the yoke back, and once we're get a little bit of an attitude, I'm going to start releasing some of that pressure to try to stay in the ground effect until we get to 54, 60. And hopefully I don't hit the stall horn. We'll see. All right, here we go. Full power, maintain center line. Remember, this is soft field takeoff, so we want the nose to, there's the nose coming up. Nope. There we go. Airspeed's alive. Yep, we're off the ground, so let's stay there. Okay, then we got 60, we can, there we go. Maintain that, clear obstacles. That wasn't too bad. Now we're about to clear 300 feet, which is at least 200 feet over the ground. So we're at 70. I can pop that flaps out and maintain pitch for about 70. And we're climbing out. That's a soft field takeoff. I'm going to reset. We'll try it one more time, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back in it. We got our parking brakes on again. Let's turn that off. We do have our 10 degrees of flaps. Let's reset the trim again. I can get down. Yeah, it's a little better. Okay. Um, yeah, I think we're set. So again, I'm gonna hold the yoke back. Gonna give it full throttle. Maintain center line. And as the nose starts to come up, I'm going to relieve some of this back pressure just to try to float it. There, we're airborne. So pitch it down a little bit, gain some speed. There's the 60. Now we can pitch for 60, get out of the ground effect, and climb normally. Really pretty simple. That was actually smoother than I thought it was going to be. And again, we're over 300, so let's nose down a little, gain up to 70, and pop the flaps. So the flaps come out, and maintain a pitch for 70. Yeah, so there you have it. That's soft field takeoff. Hope it was helpful. Hope you may have learned something. And again, the procedure's about the same for pretty much any aircraft, GA. You just have to look in the pilot operating handbook or some other spec sheet and find out what your best speeds are, like VX and whatnot. Like, you aim for at least 54 knots in the 152. It may be, 70 in a Baron or who knows what. But the general procedure is the same. So yeah, hope it was helpful. And if you have any other ideas, let me know in the comments. I'll try to make those videos too. And until next time, take care.